when you start to upgrade your system and you start to trust yourself, you understand that it wasn't paranoia. It was a higher understanding, but you can actually see from neutrality that the two were correct. Because now you know paranoia is just something that you can see, feel, hear that you can't see in the physical reality. That doesn't mean that it's not true. It just means that you have an understanding from a higher intelligence of what is going on. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Monique. I help intuitive individuals overcome everything that comes with your awakening experience. I help you step into empowerment, remember self, and activate your abundance template. I do this through very specific tools I have learned through my own remembrance and journey as a starseed. Well, let's start off by seeing what intuition actually is. So intuition is an instinct, and for me, usually it comes within my body. I usually start to feel it within my heart, within my gut. Importantly, my gut is when, my power is either being taken or it's given back to me, and this tells me everything. So my intuition is an instinct. It is a feeling. It is based upon subliminal programming or subliminal understanding. But most importantly, it is a remembrance of what we are truly at the essence, at the core of our soul. Like, what are we is coming directly through us in our instincts. It is literally leading us toward the truth. And so when we're using this mechanism, which when we start to really look at the mechanics of it, we start to see that the clairaudient, the clairvoyance, the clairsentience, the claircognance, all of the clairs are actually a way that our mechanical system starts to talk to us. And not was it a gift, but it was who we were. And as soon as we start to learn that and start to understand it and use it to what we actually are, as this beautiful mechanical system, and we start to upgrade it and we start to nourish it and oil it and do all the things like we would a car, we start to truly unpack our power. So now that we know what intuition truly is, and you might have your own understanding on it, but for today's purposes, let's just keep it real simple, right? Now let's go into what paranoia is. Well, paranoia is something that we start to feel or hear or see, but we can't see it in our reality. It is in our head. And this is where we come into paranoia and schizophrenia and psychosis and all of the things that are labeled out in society that are a part of our mind, and not necessarily do we see it. Now, when you find yourself in this situation where you can feel, see, hear inside and not necessarily outside, the world will say it is paranoia. But what did we just learn with intuition? We learned that that was our superpower. That was all how we connect into self and understand the truth behind what is going on in the illusion. And so now you're wondering, oh my God, so yes, I have intuition and I'm experiencing paranoia. Well, you're here because you're here to learn all about it. So you experiencing paranoia, as we all have. Now, let's have a look at if you trust yourself. Do you trust yourself and your decisions to make to take you to the highest outcome or the highest timeline, however you want to word it? Do you trust yourself? No. You overthink. Okay, and you second guess yourself and you take in other people's opinions. But why would we do that? Because we have all of the mechanical system to take us to the truth, to tell us what to do, to tell us what is going on behind the scenes. And so therefore, we are looking at a case of they're one of the same. They're one of the same. So then we start to look at any kind of, programming of what, psychosis is or any of those sorts of things. And we start to see that it's something going on inside that we can't prove in the physical existence. Now, this is where we have been bridging the gap between mental health and spirituality. Now, from where I come from it is one of the same. Now, I totally respect others with different understandings of they have their interpretation of what it is. But the more you go in, the more you investigate the link between neuroscience and spirituality, you begin to answer all of the questions that you have been asking yourself. You begin to fill in the blanks and it all just starts to make sense. That you had the answer the whole entire time. Paranoia came when your innate ability was telling you something was off. Someone was watching us, someone was talking about us, something wasn't right for our highest potential timeline, or something that was going to make us feel valued, something that was going to fulfill us, something that was going to feel high vibrational. There was something off. Now you began to tell people where they were like, I don't see that. I don't feel that. Then it stooped you into, maybe I'm paranoid. And probably they're telling you, hey, Monique, I think you're paranoid. Rosie isn't really talking about you. Let me set this straight. I have been through someone that has been paranoid on the verge of a breakdown because no one trusted me. No one saw what I could see or feel what I could feel within other people. These people weren't trustworthy. They were a threat to my life. They were a threat to my mental health. They were a threat to my physical existence. They were a threat to my spirituality. They were a goddamn threat. And I could feel it. Just because they don't feel it does not mean that it's not true. If you let the opinions of others come into you, you set foot into their understanding, which is now mental health, paranoia, something's up, go and get help. And so all of a sudden you went from your power of seeing and feeling and sensing the truth into there is something wrong with me. There is nothing wrong with you. Paranoia is just a lack of understanding. Paranoia is from the lower understanding in the third dimensional physical reality where they don't understand the link between neuroscience and spirituality. Okay, they don't understand it and they are going on old concepts. Now, after all of my integration and my transmuting all of the sadness and all of the things, I now get it. I understand it. I respect every single person out there and their understanding. I get it. I can see all of the different understandings. Not one is more right than the other. As you can see here today, you can see that the different understandings, well, there's only one truth. And guess what? It's theirs or it's yours. There's only one truth and it is ours. Because no one is on the same frequency, the same wavelength as you are right now. And this is something that I had to learn the hard way. And so from this moment moving forward, when I understood all of this, I stopped telling people what I could feel, sense, see, all of the things because they would think I was crazy. Now, before I was, this spiritual person, they thought I was just paranoid, right? That I was just a woman. You're too sensitive. You overthink. There's something wrong. No, there was nothing wrong. I tell you what was wrong is that I took on their understanding that there was something wrong with me. There was not. So from one understanding, it's you being paranoid. From my understanding, it's you and your intuition coming up with the truth and seeing the truth and feeling the truth and hearing the truth. Now, who's to say who's wrong, right? Well, no one. You are both paranoid and you're both intuitive, right? Not the two of you, but I mean paranoia and intuition. They are both truthful in their own right, in their own framework. They are both right. But when you start to upgrade your system and you start to trust yourself, you understand that it wasn't paranoia. It was a higher understanding, but you can actually see from neutrality that the two were correct. Because now you know paranoia is just something that you can see, feel, hear that you can't see in the physical reality. That doesn't mean that it's not true. It just means that you have an understanding from a higher intelligence of what is going on. Now, this leads me to you need to trust yourself. You need to trust that when you see things in your mind, or hear things, or feel things, or have just this plain inner knowing. It is truthful. No one around you probably feels, sees, hears the same things, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't not trust it. You should definitely trust it. Now, this is where let's go into a situation when I was younger and I would feel definitely that somebody's talking about me. There's one thing I want you to understand is the truth always prevails. Every single time in my life, now I feel like I'm just a magnet for people that are just liars, narcissistic, just backstabbing, betrayal, all of it. I feel like as a soul, I came here to learn all about that, and boy, did I. But what I want to tell you is when I felt it, that this person is lying, this person is going to stab you in the back, right? And whether you went and told somebody else, hey, look, Sally's talking about Rosie, and Rosie also spoke about you the other day. Whether you told the person that or not, it actually doesn't matter. They'll probably be like, no, I didn't. And then they gang up about you or whatever. Or possibly you're the person that's like, hey, don't trust Rosie because she is not trustworthy. Maybe you're the person that's saying, look out for Rosie, she's not trustworthy. And then they're like, actually, I really like Rosie. She's really kind. And you're like, what is wrong with me? Why do I not trust anyone? Why do I see them and everyone else in the group doesn't see it? They're just like, Monique, you're paranoid. She's fine. She's lovely. Well, just wait it out, sissy, because what's going to happen is the truth will always prevail. And what does Rosie do? Just right on time. Rosie goes and talks about Sally and you see it. And everyone was like, oh my God, Monique, how did you know that? How did you know she was going to do that? How did you know that's who she was? I don't know. I guess it was just my intuition. I suppose I wasn't paranoid after all. And it happens in that direct light is you start to feel something of somebody in your world and your gut and everything's telling you, and others might be like, you know what, girl, you're so paranoid. You need to just move on. This is your trauma. No, it's not your trauma. I actually did another video on that is it your intuition or your trauma? Go and watch it. You're going to really like it. You're going to like all my videos. So don't forget to subscribe and to see the next one. You're going to learn a hell of a lot, start to integrate, get your power back, start to own who you are and push yourself out there into the world and start claiming back what was rightly yours, what you came here for, which was abundance, peace, clarity. You came here for that life and you're going to get it with me because I'm going to be shining a light on all of this kind of stuff. You're not paranoid. There is nothing wrong with you. You are perfect. It's that the outsiders keep making you paranoid. Now it leads me into 2025, right? So I can feel big things that are happening and all these things. I don't need to share them because I don't want to put fear into the public. There's other people that's their job to do. They can go and flick it out. My job is to kind of bridge the gap and get you to come into your power and get you to see and feel and align and do all the things, right? My job isn't that. But what I want to tell you is you starting to feel the collective energy, this mass psychosis. Some are brainwashed and you're like, wake up. Maybe you might start to see and feel things that are going on in the hidden agenda and you start to feel it. And others are like, you're just a bit paranoid. Why would the people that are living here do that? Why would they do that to you? Right? You're paranoid. There's no way that those people would do that. Well, maybe not. But you're feeling it for a reason. You have got high intel into what may happen on one potential timeline, or maybe to warn you, or maybe whatever. The understanding is you and your sacred energy and your sacred journey with you and yourself and all of you. That is you to go on. You don't need to share your sacred intel. I certainly don't share all of mine. Some things are just for me, but some things are for you, and I will share them with you, like today. There is nothing wrong with you. Paranoia is one understanding. Intuition is a higher understanding. All are valid. All are welcomed. But I will not allow the world to go on with just one understanding. That sounds so silly, and that is causing for a mental health pandemic. I'm not going to let that happen. Not on my watch. And so this is where I'm like, okay, all of you people in that industry, mental health, in the hospitals, you guys are very, very smart, high IQ. Thank you so much for your services. But we have people that are in mental health crisis and have been in it for their whole entire lives because they were born intuitive. They were born special. They were born with a high sensitivity, and they have been made to feel paranoid, not right, weird. Well, hello, I'm the same. I was born exactly the same. And if I had to let people stomp over me and send me into the hospitals and send me onto the medications and to all of the people, oh my God, I wouldn't be here with you today. I don't even know how it happened, but this is part of my story that I'm sharing on other episodes, which is one of them is the true story of my awakening and how it saved me. I'm going to leave that so you can go and watch it as well, because a lot of my story will be shared. So you can be like, oh my God, I am in safe hands. I'm coming home to myself. I'm learning the truth. At last, we don't have somebody just, trying to be the guru and tell me what is what. At last, we have somebody that has been through it, that has transmuted it, that is from some star planet out there that has come here to save us, right? To save us and remind us who we are, to set us free, to release the entrapment, to come back into alignment and send us on our way. I don't want to keep you here with me years and years and years. I mean, if you want to be my friend at the end of it, perfect, amazing, love that. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen is you're going to receive enough information, enough wisdom, enough understanding. I'm getting too excited. Enough understanding that you're able to truly be like, okay, I've got this. I can trust myself now. I know I'm in alignment. I know that this voice is actually me. It's guiding me back home. It's guiding me, to wherever. My North Star. I've got my North Star now. Finally, you know now where the bricks are to step, and the light is lighting it up for you. I will be that light to highlight the path back home to you. But you don't need anybody. You just needed somebody to remind you, to bring you into that remembrance. As you start to remember, you will definitely go through some periods of, say, mental health paranoia, because we're in the third dimension of all of those understandings, remember? You'll go through all of those sorts of things. Absolutely, I've been through them. But when you start to listen to me, and maybe you might work with me one day, what you'll start to understand is, oh my God, yes, that was just one understanding, but yet I have all of these others now, and you start to work it out. So whatever you're feeling in the collective right now, this is truth. There is truth behind it. Wherever you're feeling it, seeing it, sensing it, it is. Spirit is asking me right now to just say, listen, use discernment. Okay, they're saying this is on YouTube. This is going to be out in the public. Monique, please do a disclaimer. Please use discernment. If you do need help, you do need guidance, go and seek, a GP. Go and seek the appropriate people. This is to help some people out there that are where I was, where I kept second guessing myself, keep blaming myself, keep myself into this cycle of depression and uneasiness. Felt sick in my stomach because, yes, in my stomach, my solar plexus, my power was being taken away. This is to help those people where you see and sense the truth behind people, or possibly the collective energy, if you can feel into that. But let's just stay in a singularity form. You might just see the truth and others don't. That is okay. It doesn't mean that you're wrong, or that there's something wrong with you, or that on a severe case that you're paranoid. No. I didn't just need one understanding, and so therefore I was completely lost and alone, and I had so many questions. And these are the questions that I went on with myself, my higher self, and beyond, to figure out the answers to the big questions I had. And to me, they make sense. And I'm hoping this video can show you, along with all of my other ones, the surrendering, the grief, all of them, you can start to understand it too. Where, oh my God, it does make sense, Monique. It is super practical. It makes complete, utter sense. There is nothing wrong with you. You're not bloody paranoid. Maybe you are in one understanding, but there's nothing wrong. It is truth. Look into it. Maybe you can just say, well, I'm paranoid and I'll figure the truth out. The truth will always prevail, right? You've seen it within Sally or Rosie, whoever it was that I mentioned, that She always lets her guard down and shows her true colors every single time. You don't need to worry. You don't need to call these people out. Don't call them out because these people always show themselves. It's like literally watching a play. You see it, you feel it. Don't go and tell Jackie that you know, because you just watch the scene happen. Sooner or later, Jackie will come to you and say, get a go of this. Look at Joe. Look at who was it? Rosie. Look at Rosie, right? It'll always prevail. But the major thing here is, please trust yourself. Trust you, but not only that, because you don't want to stay in that cycle of like, oh, I'm paranoid, but I still feel it, but I'm going to trust that this is truth. We need to still move forward, and this is where I want to help you, is that we still need to understand it and transmute it. Those are the two things that's going to help you propel forward, because I really don't want you to sit within that crazily energy around you going, Monique said that this is of truth, so I'm just going to believe that everyone's coming to kill me. No, I don't mean to be like making fun of this, but no, I don't want you to sit in that. That's very, very silly. Don't do that, please. What I do want you to do, though, is know that there is a message behind it, okay? And there is one understanding that maybe you saw it as that, but possibly there's another understanding of possibly there's going to be lots and lots of lives that will be taken. And this is the real pandemic. So maybe you need to understand your messaging system a little bit better. Maybe you need to understand the downloads that are coming in possibly. And maybe they're not just weird, wacky premonitions. Maybe there's an aligned understanding, a comfortable one at that. And that's what I want you to go into. But I do want you to know that paranoia is very real, and there is many, many understandings behind it, and there's some great messages behind it to save you and to save others. And I know that how everything works is from all of my paranoia through life. It truly has brought me to this moment here to be able to say, you know what? It can help. It can save lives. It can bring people out of deep depression. It can, anchor in the anxious ones. It can expand the creative children. It can free a lot of people, this information. There's many different understandings. Please go with the one that you feel most comfortable with. Okay, my honey, you are okay. All right. If I can help you in any other way, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and make a comment if you want to understand anything. I'll leave all of the links below if you want to work with me or come and join the School of Mastery where we do all of these teachings, things like that. Come and join. There's a whole community in there. There's a chat. You'll love it. There are people just like us where we were made to feel so weird and whacked out and mental health, and we were like me the whole time. I think I'm normal. I truly do. Is that the weirdest thing? Is that paranoia that I think I'm normal? No, I just live a very human life. I love that. I love knowing who I am, that I live a human life. So if you're like me, where you're intuitive, super intuitive at that, where you're super sensitive, then you like to live a human life like me, because you love being a soul, having a human experience, then you're going to love the School of Mastery. But if you need any sessions, I'll drop them down below. If not, I'll see you in the next video, and I'm so excited to share all of this information with you because you deserve it. You've been lost for such a long time, and now you are being found. I see you, I hear you, and I'm right with you, okay? I'll see you soon.